Session 1. Getting started with FamilySearch. Hi, thank you for joining us today. I am Maribel Medina, your instructor. You should know that these classes are taught live from the San Diego FamilySearch Center and broadcasted via Zoom to all those who join us worldwide. Now, today I have very little time to record this video, so I didn't have time to memorize and practice my lines, so I'm going to be reading them. I apologize for not keeping eye contact throughout the presentation, but let me tell you a little bit about myself in case we haven't met before. Like I said, I am Maribel Medina, and I was born and raised in Yucatan, Mexico. I was able to attend and graduate from Brigham Young University. I majored in business management, specializing in human resources and organizational behavior. I'm also a genealogist, but I must say that I am an infant in this industry. I started my own research about 13 years ago, and I say I'm an infant because in this industry, you will find many who have spent a lifetime doing genealogy. I've been helping others for the last 7 to 8 years. I give one-on-one consultations, family history consultations through social media or virtual platforms. And of course, I'm a volunteer at the San Diego FamilySearch Center. I'm also the family history consultant in my ward, and I visit our members in their homes or they come to mine and I help them further their research. Lastly, I am pursuing an associate's degree in family history research through BYU Idaho, the PAWE program. I'm learning so much about the professional side of this industry, and there are many tools and resources that family history consultants and leaders would benefit from. Of course, I want to share them all with you. With this background, you can see how I've been able to create a training program especially for people like you who want to help others. Now, I understand very well how frustrating it can be when you have a particular question and you don't know who to ask or how to ask it. So my goal is to show you the potential of what you could do and give you the resources that you'll need to help others. And of course, if you need help, you can always reach out to me. I will give you my email address in a moment. Okay, so this is a wonderful website. I hope that you already know it, but in case you haven't, let me tell you. It is thefhguide.com. I put the web address on the top for you, and this is a screenshot of the home screen. The picture might be different, but it looks like this. It is a free website that contains all the tutorials, practice exercises, and information to answer pretty much any question you may have. This is the website that we use in our FamilySearch centers to train our volunteers, and also the tool that the church uses to train missionaries that go out and help in this work. If you are a family history consultant or leader, you need to know about this website inside and out, okay? It has everything you could possibly need to help you with your calling. For example, does a member need help doing research in Scotland and you don't even know where Scotland is on the map, nor how to do research on that country? Well, you'll find all of that in here. How about this? Have you ever been asked to train new consultants? Well, guess what? The PowerPoints are already there designed for you. Do you need fun activity ideas for primary age children or teenagers or a recent convert family? You'll find tons of suggestions in here as well. Or maybe you're curious about DNA testing, but the amount of information out there is overwhelming and you don't know where to start. This is a website for you, okay? It's all in here. If there's anything I want you to take home from today, it is this website. Make sure you watch the videos at the bottom of the screen for a quick tour. The contents of today's lesson are on the menu that says Learning Paths. You're going to select FamilySearch. Right now, we're going to focus only on FamilySearch because as consultants, this is a website that allows us to create the family tree and reserve the ordinances to take to the temple. Later on, in other stages of our training program, we will venture into learning all other platforms and even softwares that are out there. It's going to take a while to get there, but we'll move slowly. Now we're covering the basics on how to get started. I invite you to explore this website and start getting familiar with it. Another tool that I have for you today is the Google Classroom I created for this training. I am about to give you a lot of information all at once. And it is not my intention to overwhelm you. Rather, I want you to see the potential of what can be done and then go home and give that a try for yourself with enough support material so that you're successful. In this virtual classroom, I am going to share with you videos, articles, documents, notes, and handouts from this training. If you miss a session, you'll find here a summary of what we covered, and hopefully I'll be able to put the videos with a step-by-step process of what I presented. Now, we do record these sessions, and in the past we had problems uploading the videos to YouTube. I cannot guarantee that all videos will be available, but I can tell you that I'm trying. I will try for sure. If you want to join our Google Classroom, you will need a code. Please email me so I can send it to you. This is my email address. Make sure you write contacto with an O, and then at the end is .net, N-E-T, because if you send it to a .com address, I'm never gonna get it, okay? Please also email me if you have never received an email from me. That way I can have your email address and I'll be able to contact you in case I need to cancel or reschedule a class. And I will be sending you reminders for the classes that are upcoming every month. Remember that we just got started. This is session 1 out of 9 and they take place once a month. Last year when I taught this class, I did not have everyone's emails and we ended up moving the date of one of our sessions, and people were very disappointed to come to the center only to find that the class had been moved to a different date. So please send me an email and I'll add you to our contact list, and I'll send you reminders about upcoming classes and notifications if we ever need to cancel or reschedule a class. Now, let's get started. The first session is titled Getting Started with FamilySearch. I am presenting this topic considering that you are familiar with family history. Maybe you are the consultant or the leader in charge of supporting this work. Most likely you already know what I'm going to present, but it doesn't hurt to give it a little review so that we're all on the same page and we can talk about what should and should not be done when we open a new account. Opening a new account. Like I said, the content of this class may be too basic for you. Just wait, please be patient. I need to cover this stuff just in case you have never had to do this. There might be details that you're not aware of. I'll try to keep it fun and dynamic, but you should know that not every session is like this one. Today's class is very technical. Just sit back and enjoy the presentation. The website is FamilySearch.org, and on the upper right corner, you'll find the option to create a new account. This is the form you'll need to fill out if you're helping someone who's a member of the church. Make sure to indicate it by selecting this box at the bottom. You will open up the boxes to include the person's date of birth and their church record number. You can get this number from the temple recommend or request it to your ward secretary. Or if the user already has the Tools app on their phone, you know, the app where they can access the ward directory. If they go to their own profile on their ward directory, under membership, they'll be able to find the number as well. After that, you just follow the instructions the system will give you to verify their email and their phone number, and you'll be all set. You don't need to have the church record number at the moment you're opening the account. You can still create it, just make sure that later on you take the time to go back and add it to the system. Otherwise, the platform has no way of knowing that this user is a member of the church. So sometimes we start working with family history with people that are learning about the gospel but had not been baptized yet. So we open their account as non-members, and then when they get baptized and they receive the church record number, then we need to go back into their FamilySearch account profile and add that number there. If that's your case, please don't forget, it will be your responsibility as a consultant or leader or person that is ministering this new member. If you're helping them open an account without the church record number, it will be your job to remember that that number needs to be added later on. Who can create an account in FamilySearch? Anyone 13 years and older can create an account without parental permission, members and non-members. And children ages 8 to 12 can create an account with parental permission, also members and non-members. This is a free website for everyone. The only difference is that children 8 to 12 need permission from an adult. 13 years and older, they can just create their account. Now, for a child ages 8 to 12, after you fill out this form, whether they're members of the church or not, it doesn't matter. After you fill this out, if they're between ages 8 and 12, the next step will be to grant the permission. And the permission can be granted using the adult's church record number if the adult is member of the church. And if it's not, you can always use the phone number or email. Remember, you can create an account without the church record number at the moment. It's okay, you can do it. But if you're working with someone who is LDS and you don't have the church record number at the moment you open the account, please remember to go back and add it later. Now, this is what the permission form looks like. The adult needs to either use their church record number or their phone number or email address. If they use the church record number, all they do is they input it and that's it, they submit it. Phone numbers get, if you use a phone number as a way to grant permission, you will receive a code as a text message, which you need to put back on the computer. And then if you use the email to grant permission, then you will receive an email with steps to help verify that. And that's it, it's very easy. This is my favorite. I already have an account, but I can't remember my login. Well, before we talk about account recovery options, we're going to make a huge parenthesis and we're going to talk about something else that I think is very important, because this is the root of the many different problems and scenarios that we encounter when we try to recover accounts and we can't. Okay, so we're going to talk about what is the difference between a church account and a FamilySearch account, because there used to be the same thing. Okay, it was about September of 2021 when these two platforms were separated, they were divided. Okay, so let's talk about how are they different and why does that difference matters. Okay, let's start with the church account. This is an account that you use in all the church websites and apps. You can access churchofjesuschrist.org, you can pay your tithing, subscribe to printed magazines. You use this login on the church apps for your phone, like the Tools app, where you can access your word directory, right? And yes, you can also use this to access FamilySearch website, but only if you created your church account before the split took place in 2021, and if you never change your password. So when I go to sign in on FamilySearch, if I'm always using my church account, I never change the password since the moment I open my account, and I open it before 2021, I can use that login in this space with no problem whatsoever. It will work, okay? But if you make changes to your church account, or maybe to the FamilySearch account after 2021, you decided to update the password on either one of these websites, it will no longer work in here. You can still use it, but you need to put it on the right option. And in your case, since you want to use a church account, you'll have to select this option, continue with church account. The computer will take you to a different screen to input your username and password, but then it will bring you back into FamilySearch. So this is particularly important for leaders, for example, who have to update their passwords every 6 months. Maybe they are used to the idea that the church account always works on FamilySearch and they have to update it. And when they go back on FamilySearch, it doesn't longer work, right? So just make sure that they're using it in the right option, okay? If it doesn't work at the bottom, try it on the top that says continue with church account. Now, the FamilySearch account can only be used in the FamilySearch website and apps for mobile devices. That's it. Only on FamilySearch services. So let's talk about why they were separated. Let's read from the official article. It says, FamilySearch is growing rapidly. In the previous system used to manage accounts, any account created in FamilySearch.org created a matching account on churchofjesuschrist.org and vice versa. So if you wanted to use FamilySearch, you create an account and it will automatically create an account for you on the church's website. And if you wanted to use the church website, you create an account and it automatically create an account for you on FamilySearch. That's the way it worked for a few years. But I want you to start thinking on how this was conflicting. For example, if I create my account on FamilySearch, but I don't have my church record number on file, it will create a church account without the church record number in it. So now, 10 years later, when I'm trying to recover my account, I go to the church's website and my church record number doesn't come up. It doesn't show, and I don't understand why, because I've been reading my scriptures, I've been subscribing to magazines, I've been doing pretty much everything without an issue. I don't even know that my church record number is not on my church account. All I know is that I have an account on both websites, right? The other option could be that I create an account on the church website, but I never done genealogy, never in my life. So when I'm finally ready to do genealogy for the first time, I try to open a new account on FamilySearch using my church record number, but the computer says that I already have an account. And to me, it makes no sense because I have never done genealogy, right? Why does it say that I have an account? Why does it ask me to recover an account that I personally never created? Well, that's because the system did it for me, but I didn't know, right? So, can you see where this is going? Okay, let's keep reading. In the previous system used to manage accounts, any account created on FamilySearch.org created a matching account on churchofjesuschrist.org. Similarly, any account created on churchofjesuschrist.org created a matching account for FamilySearch. The dual linked accounts existed for all users. Now, FamilySearch accounts are created and managed only on FamilySearch, and church accounts are created and managed only on churchofjesuschrist.org. So we're no longer duplicating accounts in two platforms, okay? Why are we doing this? Why? Because separating these accounts allows FamilySearch to accommodate future growth, simplify access, improve security and privacy, and conserve church resources. Meaning that there is a lot of people that do not need two accounts. For example, all the members of the church that do not want to do genealogy right away, they're not ready for it. They don't need a FamilySearch account. Or all the people in the world that are fans of genealogy but do not want an LDS account. There are many people that use FamilySearch but they're not members of the church. They don't need an account on the churchofjesuschrist.org website. Why does it matter, Mariva? Why is this relevant? Because the options for account recovery will vary from one website to another. And also because sometimes members accidentally block their accounts after several failed attempts at the time of wanting to log in. It is important to understand that it is possible that the person has the certainty of their login. They know their username and password very well, but maybe they don't know, or perhaps they don't remember, or they don't even know if it's their login for their church account or their FamilySearch account. All they know is that that's their login, but it could be for either website. To them, it might be the same, but not to you as a consultant. Now you know that these are two different things. And if you input this login in the wrong place, after several attempts, you will block the account. So, maybe, let's try a different scenario. Maybe you always use your church login in FamilySearch without a problem. One day you change your password. And you can still log in into your church accounts, but it doesn't longer work on FamilySearch. And you're so frustrated. You keep changing the password, you keep updating, you keep trying the recovery options, and it's not working for you. So you need to understand where to put that login, whether it's at the bottom or at the top what it says, use church account. So, problem is entering into the genealogy platform is one of the main reasons why people do not participate in this work. They get very frustrated. And if just entering into FamilySearch to see the family tree is frustrating, imagine when we tell them that the documents that they need to continue their research, they're not indexed and they have to read photo by photo. We don't want to make this more complicated or frustrating as it is, okay? We want to simplify it for them, but you as a leader and consultant need to understand why these issues arise, so you can help explain or guide them in the recovery process. We need to know how to solve these types of challenges. When someone comes to you expressing problems logging into their account, try using the login they give you on both platforms, on the church website and on FamilySearch. And if it doesn't work on any of them, then you can try the account recovery options. How can I recover my account? The options will vary depending on whether you want to recover the church account or the FamilySearch account. Let's start with the church account. You can recover your church account login using the email or phone number you entered at the time of opening the account. Or you can use your church record number along with your name and date of birth. If none of these options work, the person may not remember what phone number they used when they create the account or changed it many years ago. Maybe you no longer have access to the email that you use, or the system doesn't recognize your church record number. Remember that it's possible to have a church account that doesn't have the church record number. Well, that's when you call the technical support line. This is the phone number for United States and Canada. For those outside of North America, I'm going to show you how to find the technical support number for your country. We're going to do a Google search. We search for Global Services Department Meeting House Support, okay? And on the results, you'll see something like this. Sometimes it's the first option, sometimes it's the second or third. Just make sure that the original address is tech.churchofjesuschrist.org, okay? The right page will look something like this. The phone numbers appear below what I'm showing right now. I'm only showing you the top, and I'm doing it on purpose. These numbers may change at any moment. I don't want you to rely on phone numbers provided in this video. I think it's better if you learn how to look them up, just in case that they change. Okay, this is what the website looks like. And I know it says Meeting House Support, but I talked to a very nice volunteer earlier this morning, and he confirmed that any member, any consultant leader can call and ask for help recovering their account. They're very kind. They can answer the phone, the call in almost any language. And I'll give you some tips to keep in mind before you call them. This is only for the church account, okay? So we're talking about how to recover the church account because this login can be used on all church websites and applications, including FamilySearch. And sometimes it is easier to recover this account because you can use the church record number to recover it, or you can call. If you try the online recovery options and you couldn't recover the account by yourself, you may want to call tech support. Before calling the tech support line, you need to keep in mind these things. First of all, the member you're helping needs to be present because they will want to verify their identity. They're going to ask them things like, in which city were you baptized, or in which year, or in which temple you received your endowments, or the name of your latest bishop, something that only the member will know, okay? As a consultant, it is a very good idea that you are present because you will have a better understanding of the situation and you'll be able to explain to tech support what the issue is. The member may take a long time explaining whether a child helped them create an account, but then a missionary came and changed the password, and then they changed the phone number because of Christmas, and then they go on and on, right? So as a consultant, you can go straight to the point and say, we don't have access to the phone number or the email. We tried recovering online, it didn't work, or I tried using the church record number and it gives me an error. It says that the date of birth and the record don't match what's on file. Whatever the error might be, as a consultant, I think you'll be able to explain better what's happening, right? Keep also in mind that you must have the call on your phone, but also have access to a computer or other cell phone, because the missionary on the other side will give you some instructions. Sometimes they text you a code, sometimes they send you an email, sometimes they just guide you step by step on the computer. So it is very easy. I promise you it's very easy. I think it takes between 10 to 15 minutes at the most, with the biggest time is spent explaining the situation. So don't give up. I know usually by this point we're frustrated because we tried the email and it didn't work, the phone number didn't work, the church record number is giving us error. I tried it on FamilySearch and I tried it on the church website, I know it can be frustrating, but when you make the phone call, it's because you exhausted all the automated options, okay? And they will help you. Now, you can recover your FamilySearch account using only the email address or cell phone number provided at the moment of the creation of the account. But remember that there are many accounts, FamilySearch accounts, that were created years ago automatically when the member was trying to create a church account, right? So maybe they don't even know that they have a FamilySearch account and they don't have access to that email or to that phone number. There are many reasons why it might be hard to recover these accounts. So I'm thinking of another one that I had recently. Maybe you open your church account and you change your password several times, and now you're trying to log into FamilySearch and the system does not accept the password that you're entering because you need to enter the password that you had before the separation occurred on September 2021. It's also possible that a missionary, a grandchild, or a visiting ministering brother or sister, they created the FamilySearch account for you and you have no idea, or or you don't even remember. You don't even remember that you have a FamilySearch account already. It is also possible to have a church account that doesn't have the church record number. Okay, I explained that scenario already. Look, I know this may be confusing, especially if you never had to deal with these scenarios. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what happened. Look, what matters is what options you have as a consultant to help recover a login. So these are my tips. Always try to recover an account before creating a new one. Chances are the member already has a FamilySearch account, even if they never done genealogy or never used the website. Maybe they have always been using their church account for a really long time. They're trying to do genealogy now. It's possible that they already have an account that they don't know it, okay? So always try to recover the account instead of creating a new one. Try to recover the church account using your church record number and use that login into FamilySearch. If you create a new account just because you don't remember your login, you run the risk of duplicating an entire tree. And we don't want to duplicate trees. Trust me, we do not want to duplicate profiles nor trees. So if you are opening your FamilySearch account and you input your church record number and it says this record already has an account, recover that one, but you never done genealogy, so you go continue with the creation of a new account without the church record number, you will be duplicating a tree and you'll be delaying the work of your entire family because no one will be able to perform ordinances for anyone that is duplicated in the system, okay? If you encounter any type of problems opening a new account, you can always go back and call tech support. Once you help someone recover a church account or their FamilySearch account, it is the perfect time to go into the user's profile and update the phone number, emails, passwords, etc. Take the time to make sure the information on the user's profile is up to date. I'm going to show you where you can do that on FamilySearch. So you log in into FamilySearch, you look for the user's profile. It's on the upper right corner of the screen. I blur my name, but whoever you're helping, their name will be there, okay? You click there and then you select settings. Once there, you're gonna select account. And this is where you can make sure that the person has their most current email and phone number. You can also help them change their password for something they'll remember more easily. Now, since you are already in this screen, take the time to make sure the person has input their church record number if they're members of the church. On this same screen, at the very bottom, you'll see the following option: only if a valid church record number has been added to the user's profile. Let me show you. We're gonna scroll all the way to the bottom of the page. If I open my account and I did not add my church record number because I didn't have it with me at the moment, there will be a button that says add church record number. If the person is a member of the church, take the time to make sure that church record number is included in this screen. And if it isn't, please add it It will save you so much problems in the future. Just make sure that every member has their church record number on their account. You won't believe how many times I help members that have built huge family trees, but they never added their church record number to their accounts. And now they're very frustrated because they don't know how to reserve temple ordinances. The temple menu and tools will not show on a user's profile if the church record number is not added on this screen. Now, you won't believe either how many times I help recover an account. I've gone through the whole process of contacting FamilySearch support. I updated information, and when I try to add the church record number on this screen, I get an error message saying that this record is already in use in a different FamilySearch account. That means that this person has two accounts, one with a record number and one without. And it means that we recovered the account that doesn't have it. We need to go back and start the process trying to find the account that has the church record number on file. In those cases, I've asked FamilySearch, what do they do with duplicate accounts? That's what you consider when one person has two accounts, one when they're with the church record number, one without. If you have family trees on both, you will have to choose one or the other. A portion of your tree will consist of people that are still alive, and another portion will be people that are still deceased. Okay, so those who are deceased, we share between accounts. There's no problem on that. But those who are still alive, you won't be able to use anymore. Okay, so if you've been working on the wrong account, the one that doesn't have the church record number, the one that doesn't know the member of the church, everything you have in there for your living family, all the photos and memories, whatever that you inputted there, you pretty much lose it. Because when you go back to the account that has a church record number, I mean, I don't know how long you used it, I don't know how big the tree is in there, how much work you put in there, but the account that has a church record number, that will be the one that is preserved. We will not delete the other one. I'm not aware if there is a way to do so. I called several times with this issue, and the answer is always the same. Ignore the account that doesn't have the church record number. Stay with the one that allows you to reserve ordinances. But then I have to manually input everything I had for the living people on my tree. This is what you will see if the account has a church record number. It will say Show Temple Options. This is a tool that can hide or show the temple menus and options on the tree and on the profiles. You can activate or deactivate it, okay? So I'm going to show you both screens side by side. Can you tell which one is missing the church record number? The one on the left, okay? This is to help you identify when you're working with an account that is of a member of the church or one that is not a non-member of the church, or if the member forgot to add their church record number to their profile. Since we're already on this screen, let's talk about the helper's access number. I will show you where to find it, and then I'll explain what it does. So remember that we're still inside the user's profile, but now we're going to select permissions. The helper access number, you can find it right here. I blurred mine and I wrote some digits in red, right, for privacy. Because this number is a code that I can share with others so that they can help me. If I share this number with someone, they'll be able to make changes on my family tree, memories, temple reservations, indexing projects, etc. They'll be able to open my tree and see everything I've done and make changes as if I had done them myself. I will not know what changes they made and which ones I make. It will look like I did it all, right? It's like they go into my tree, but they can manipulate it as if they were me, okay? It is very useful because as a consultant, that gives me access to other people's trees without them having to share with me their login information, which they should always keep private. For example, when I help my bishop with his research, he definitely does not want to give me his username and password for FamilySearch, nor he should, right? So I ask for his helper access number, and I'm able to see the entire family tree, see the documents that he has attached to a certain ancestor, and design a research process or plan for him to follow in our next consultation. Now, we will have another class in which I'll show you how to request access to someone's tree, how to use the consultant planner available on FamilySearch. For now, just know that this is a thing, it's a tool, it exists, and this is where you'll find it if you ever need it. Now, let's pay attention to the bottom part. I shared my helper's access number with my friend Gloria about 2 years ago in 2022. Whenever I'm ready to stop receiving her help, I can revoke access. Otherwise, this number will expire by itself within a year, and Gloria will no longer have access to my tree. And as you can tell, at the bottom it says that this number expires on September 3rd of 2023. By the time I recorded this video, it had been a year from that date, so this number is long gone. So if Gloria wants to continue helping me, or if I still need her help, I can give her the new helper access number that is created, and she can request access to my tree using the new number. Okay, just keep in mind that I give this number to someone to help me, but at any moment I can revoke access that person has to my tree. And if I don't revoke the access, the number will change automatically, and they will no longer be able to help me within 1 year the moment I use that number. Sometimes this number matches your church record number, sometimes it doesn't. The truth is that I can select my own helper access number. You know what it says, edit. You can choose your own number if you wish. So there's not a rule that it has to be the last digits of your church record number. It can change. What is the difference between a member's and a non-member's account? Remember that anyone can open a FamilySearch account. This is a free website available to anyone who has an interest in genealogy. So what is the difference between a member's and a non-member's account? There is two major differences that I found on these types of accounts. One is whether you have access to the temple options or not. The system will only recognize you as a member of the church if your church record number is added to your user's profile, and it will show you the temple options only if it recognizes you as a member of the church. And the second difference is that as a member of the church, you have access to partner sites like Ancestry and MyHeritage for free, but only if you vincule or if you link your FamilySearch account with an Ancestry account. I do have a class where I show you how to do all of that. But in order for Ancestry to know that they are not going to charge you a monthly subscription for their services because you're a member of the church, the only way they know that is if your FamilySearch account has your church record number. Okay, that's why I'm insisting on verifying that your user profile has your church record number. So if you already forgot where to check if I got my church record number on file or not, you log into your FamilySearch account, and then on the upper right corner, you click on your username and then you select Settings. It will take you to the screen. You will select Account, and you're gonna scroll down all the way down. This is what it looks like when someone is not a member of the church or the church record number is missing. Okay? If the user is LDS and you know their church record number, you can click that button and add it. This is what it looks like when someone has already added their church record number. Please remember that I can choose whether or not to show the temple options. I will keep them on right now so you can see what they do, right? Let's take a moment. Let's keep the temple options on so you know what it does. This is my account. I am a member of the church, and my church record number is in my account, and I kept them active. My home screen looks like this. Look at the menus on the top. I have a menu called Temple. Now, this is the account of a friend who's not a member of the church. Look in the menus at the top. The Temple menu is missing. It won't show because as far as the system knows, this user is not a member of the church. The only way I have to indicate I am a member is by adding the church record number to my FamilySearch user's profile. Please remember that the temple menus will not show if the user is not a member of the church, or if for whatever reason they did not add the church record number to their account, or if the temple options were turned off. What about this view of an ancestor's profile? This is a non-member's account. Do you notice anything missing? I'll give you a hint. Right here. This is where the ordinances menu would be. Once again, it's not showing the temple options because this account does not have a church record number in it. In comparison, this is the view of from an ancestor using my own account, and I have the ordinances menu right there. So if a member ever comes to you saying that he cannot make temple reservations because the temple options don't show or something similar, make sure to check if they have their church record number on their user's profile. How can I help others remember their logins? Here's what I do that has been the perfect solution for the members of my ward. And of course, you don't have to do any of this, but this has been the perfect solution, honestly. Of course, I made little cards where they write their logins for both the church and the FamilySearch accounts. And I did it this way so that they and I both know which login they're using, right? That way we can make the difference whether we're working with a church account login on FamilySearch or if I'm actually working with the FamilySearch login. That way they know where to put it, okay? And on the back, I included spaces for the other two genealogy sites that we use the most. Now, in my ward, we are Hispanics, and these are the websites that we use the most. Maybe in your ward, you have different needs. These cards are printed on both sides of cardstock paper, and when you cut them, they're the size of the temple recommend. I have shared this in a PDF file in a Google Classroom, and I can send them to you via email if you wish. I understand that some of you may not feel comfortable using Google Classroom. I want to make sure that you have access to these resources one way or another. If you want to file with these cards, send me an email and I'll be happy to share this with you. Now, the beauty of these cards is not the card itself, but what happens next. After filling this card out, I ask them to do 3 things. First, take a photo of it. Using your phone, take a photo of it. That way, if you ever lose your card, you have a digital copy. Second, I ask the member to share that photo via text with a member of their family, or with me as their consultant. I rather not keep a copy of their logins. Honestly, it's too much responsibility for me. And they'll be constantly coming to me asking for it, right? I want them to be self-reliant. So you take a photo and then you share it with someone you trust. A child, a sibling, a parent, someone that will help you with, confidential and sensitive information. So, and the third, I ask them to keep that card with their temple recommend, like inside the plastic protector of the temple recommend. And I've seen throughout the years that people may lose their phone, their wallets, they may move, but they will not lose the temple recommend. And even if they did, they have a digital copy on their phones and they had shared it with somebody else. So we have more options of finding that login, right? One modification I would suggest is to include the helper access number somewhere in this card. That way they can find it easily if they ever need it. But remember that this number expires every year, so maybe write it down with pencil so you can update it. And in my class, when I presented this live, people suggested that they can save the login information as a contact on their phones, or they can just write it down in the back of their favorite book, for example. I think I already have an account but don't remember for sure. Can I just open a new one? Yes, you can open as many accounts as you want. The system will let you. But you will be starting from scratch every single time. And if you already have an account, chances are that you already have a tree in the system. So let's recover that account and find that tree instead of creating a new one and duplicating everything. I know that the older generation are impatient when it comes to account recovery. I know from my personal experience, my mother has about 15 or 16 different Facebook profiles, because every time she visits facebook.com, she starts writing her name and password, creating a new account instead of logging in. So please, let's not do that on FamilySearch. Let's make sure we are signing into our accounts and we're using our one tree. We don't want to duplicate trees, okay? If you duplicate a tree, no one in your family will be able to take those names to the temple until all those duplicate profiles are reconciled. It's not hard to fix, but it is time consuming, and everyone's effort is stalled until these duplicates are fixed. This one is one of my favorites. I've been using my spouse's account. Why do I need my own? It happens a lot in my ward where the wife is using the husband's FamilySearch account. So let me put it this way. You are doing all the work and giving him all the credit. And yes, you're right. Both of you are receiving the blessings for being part of this work. But in the church statistics and reports, he's the only one showing as actively participating. Use your own account and have him use his own account, okay? This is something that you need to consider. Let's say that you are working on his account, you've added yourself, you have him, you have both of your parents, grandparents, and so forth, but you also add your children, your own siblings, and you have photos there of your kids and of your mom, etc., right? If he passes away before you do, you're gonna lose access to his account, and the living portion of the tree you carefully built will not be accessible to you anymore, okay? You'll have to open your own account, and maybe you don't need to start from scratch. The tree is there, but you'll share only the portion of the tree that shows those who are deceased. Any information he had on his tree about living relatives, photos, memories, all of that will be inaccessible to you. Each one of us needs their own account. We might be identical twins, but our family trees will not look the same. And in the identical twins example, I'm saying this because yes, you do share the same parents, but you're not gonna have the same spouse or the same children, right? Let's get started. Once we have created a new account or successfully recovered an old one, it's time to get started. The system will guide you on the first steps. You will need to begin to create a profile of yourself in your family tree. For this example, I created an account for my daughter Andrea, and I blurred our last names, try to keep the family's privacy as much as possible. After I log in for the first time on Andrea's account, this is what I found on the family tree. I opened the account using Andrea's church record number, and I provided parental permission using my church record number. Andrea is a child between ages 8 and 12. So when I use her church record number and mine, the system recognized that Andrea had both parents who were members of the church, and those parents had mothers who are members of the church, and automatically created a draft of a tree for Andrea so she wouldn't be by herself on FamilySearch, okay? This was possible only because all the people you see on the screen are members of the church, and our membership information is linked to each other. It will not always show you a draft of a tree when you start. If you're working with someone who is the only member of the church in their family, that person will be by themselves. And sometimes the system doesn't create a profile for all the relatives that are members of the church in this member's life. For example, Andrea's siblings are missing, and Andrea's aunts and uncles are also missing, and they're all members of the church, right? So it's just a draft. And for the portion of the tree that is still alive, that's okay, it doesn't matter. We're trying to connect to the tree that shows the profiles of those are deceased. Those are the ones that we share, okay? So if you're working with a recent convert, you may find him by himself on the tree. You will need to manually add your parents, grandparents, siblings, those people that are alive. Some people are not comfortable adding the information of living relatives. That's okay. Let's say that your mom is still alive, but your grandma isn't. In order to prepare your grandma's name to take to the temple, you'll need to create a profile for your mom. If you don't want to include her name and date of birth and all of that, that's okay. Put a placeholder. Write just her last name. And then you'll be able to add your grandma, and then you'll be able to request her ordinances if grandma has passed away. These profiles you see on the screen are for Andrea's parents and grandparents, and they were created automatically just for her to see. All these people on the screen are still alive. Each one of them have their own FamilySearch accounts. My account, for example, has my photo on my profile, and right now it's not showing, okay? That is because Andrea is not sharing the same profile I have for myself. We do not share profiles of relatives that are still alive. We only share profiles of deceased relatives. The profile that my daughter has for me on this tree is completely empty. It only has my name, the name of my mother, and my spouse. On the other hand, on my own account, on my profile, I have tons of photos and memories and dates like my date of birth, the day I got married, etc. These profiles that you see on the screen are duplicates. They're different from the ones that I have on my account and on my tree, and from the ones that my husband has for me on his tree. So, I, Maribel Medina, since I am still alive, I have my own profile on my account, plus the profile that my husband created for me on his account, plus the profile that my daughter created for me on her account. So that's 3. Plus the one that my mother and my mother-in-law created, and my sister and my brother and sister-in-law, and etc. etc. So Maribel Medina has at least 5 different profiles on FamilySearch, and that's okay, only because I'm still alive, and we do not share the profiles of living relatives. In many years, hopefully, when I pass away in many years, each person who added me to their tree will need to change my status from living to deceased, and will have to merge those duplicate profiles into one. Now, I'm aware there is a way to share the living portion of your tree with other users so that they can all contribute. It is still a pilot program as of October of 2024, and it's on a different section. It's not on this side of this website. This is on a different option, and I will show you how to do that. It's not included on this recording. Right now, I am focusing on the collaborative FamilySearch family tree, okay? Now, how do I add relatives to my family tree? You just click on the space where the person you want to add should go. For example, in order to add a spouse for Andrea, I'll have to click on this space. Now let's take a look. Here is Andrea, and this is her dad, Pablo. Pablo's parents are over here. We got Grandma Benita, but Grandpa Gabriel is missing. This example is interesting because Grandpa Gabriel, he's still alive, and he's a member of the church. In fact, he's a temple worker, and he does genealogy. So why isn't he here? Honestly, I have no idea. Like I said, when I opened Andrea's account for the first time, I had to write down her name and birth, and date and place of birth, and then when he took me to the family tree, all of this was already there based on the information on her membership record, right? And Grandpa Gabriel is missing, but I know very well he's still around and he's a member of the church, so he should automatically be there. I don't know why he isn't, but it doesn't matter because he's still alive. I need to create a profile for him. So I'm gonna click right there where it says add spouse, because that refers to Benita's spouse, and this is the form that will appear. I need to fill this out with as much information as I have on hand. I can always go back and modify what I entered or add what I was missing. But don't forget to specify the gender and status, whether living or deceased. Once I fill this out, this button will turn blue and I'll be able to add him to the family tree. Because he's still alive, the system only gives me one option, to create a person, okay? Each one of his family members has a duplicate for Gabriel on their own family trees. That's okay. Remember, we do not share the profiles of people who are still living, so we duplicate them. My daughter needs to create a profile for Gabriel if she wants him to show on the family tree. So I need to click where it says create person. I'm not gonna do it at the moment because I need this space empty to make the same demonstrations for my Spanish section. But you click create person and he'll be on the family tree. It is very simple. And then you just simply repeat the same process for every living relative you want to include in your family tree. Let's go back a little and I want to explain something else. So this is Andrea. And this is her beautiful and smart mom, Maribel. Here is the maternal grandparents. Her maternal grandpa, my father, is deceased and he's missing from the tree. Even though I traced several generations of his ancestors, well, they're not showing. Remember, this is a brand new account. This is just a draft of a tree. I need to link this tree with the one I've been working on for the last decade. The name of this grandfather is Javier. Like I said, he is deceased. So instead of creating a new profile for him, I'm going to look up the profile that he already has on FamilySearch, okay? So I'm gonna click on the space that says add spouse for Rocio. This answers the question, how do I find a tree that has already been created? Remember that I already traced Javier's genealogy several generations, but I went into my daughter's account and he's missing. So we're gonna click on the space where it says add spouse and we get this form and I can find that profile by name. I will fill this form the same way I did for the other grandfather. I do the name, the last name, etc., etc. The difference will be when I indicate that he is deceased. The moment I select this option, the system will do something different. Instead of creating a new profile right away, the system will look him up in all of the family trees on the system, and then it will tell me if it found him. I'm gonna fill out the form with as much information as I know about Javier, and then I'm gonna click next. This button turns blue, and that's when I can click it, okay? Now, these are the results of the search that the system just did with the info that I gave. It found one possible match, and it happens to be the correct profile for Javier. This is his correct profile. I'm blurring the information. I'm trying to keep my family's privacy. At one point, honestly, I give up and I just give you free access to my tree. But in the meantime, let me try. Okay, in this case, this is the correct profile of Javier, the one I created pretty soon after his passing. So I'm gonna click where it says add match. I'm not going to actually do it, but if I did, it would pull everything there is on that line. It will include Javier's profile along with his parents, siblings, grandparents, and the entire line of the side of the family, but only those who are passed away. Javier has siblings who have passed away. It will show on my tree, but it will not show the siblings that are still living. I know on my account I have all the siblings with their spouses and their children, but my daughter Andrea, when she pulls Javier, she will only see the profile of Javier's siblings that are passed away. She will not be able to see the living portion that I have, right? Because we do not share profiles of living people. And once again, there is a pilot program where you can actually do it, but that's separate from this. We're going to cover it in a different lesson. Don't be confused, okay? Now, sometimes the system will find several other people with the same name as the person I'm trying to add to my tree. Sometimes I will see several possible matches. In those cases, I need to study each result and determine whether they are the same as the relative I'm trying to add or not. If none of them are the right profile, then I just click where it says create person. Once again, I'm not going to actually do it at the moment because I need this example for my Spanish section. Okay. There is another way to connect to an existing tree. I think it's faster. It's using the ID number. So I'm going to click on the space where Javier should be. And when the form pulls up, this one, I'm going to select by ID number. This is what comes up. On this portion is where I'll add Javier's ID number. Now, what is this number and where do I get it from? Okay, so my daughter will have to get in touch with me and ask me for this number. I will log into my account and I will find it for her. So let's take a look. I'm going to show you a portion of my family tree. We are now on my account. And again, I'm blurring portions of my tree in an attempt to protect my family's privacy. But this is what my tree looks like from my account. So here is Andrea. And she needs the ID number of my dad to add him to the tree. And this is where he is. So let me zoom in that part so you can see it better. This is what it looks like, kind of. And right under his name, this is where you'll find my dad's ID number. So I write it down and I give it to Andrea so that she can use it to add her grandpa to her family. So with this number, she goes back into her account, right? She selects the space where the grandpa should go. We select my ID number and she writes down the ID that I gave her. And when the button turns blue, you click on it and you're done. How is this useful? Why do I need to connect to a tree? Well, if you're planning on preparing names to take to the temple, you need to connect to the tree that already exists for your family. If there is one, of course, right? If you have heard that a distant relative already did some genealogy, try to get in touch with him or with her and ask them if they use FamilySearch. Avoid simply adding people who have passed away without first verifying if they are already in the system. If you create a duplicate profile for someone who already passed away, you will not be able to restore their ordinances. There is a way around this obstacle, but it will put you at risk of performing ordinances for someone who doesn't really need them. Maybe there is a profile out there that contains the info of the ordinances that relative already received. If you just add him without checking, you'll be having a wonderful time in the temple baptizing someone for the 5th, 6th, or 7th time. And you could have a wonderful time in the temple baptizing someone who actually needed their baptism. That is all for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.